It's off the top. Metronome Madness, episode 18. I'm like a baked bean straight out of the frying pan. I'm lying, man. Lying awake at night trying to find a cake I might like to bake at a time like this. I'm trying to rise, but I think I might miss my shot. It's the 13th of August, 2025. Living a life, right? This guy, that guy, the other girl too. 13 years ago, everything seemed to be destroyed. 10 years ago, I still felt like a little boy. Man, there's a level of ingenuity to doing things for the first time. A lot of things have happened already. Who's to say? It's been human beings here for thousands of years. You've been doing things, you think it's your first time, and you got all these fears about the patents for things, right? Actually, it seems like this has happened before. We get a little caught in our mind thinking that we're the ones that have tried, and we actually end up being the ones to find something new, innovative, but not really. It's not so tricky to see. There's some tricks to things, some tricks to life, actually. The trick is to stop trying so hard, which is ironic, really, because we want to do good things, We're supposed to, commanded to. It's a good thing to do. But sometimes we get in our own way, trying to haul some hay. Man. A lot of times we're just hauling too many things. We place some things down thinking this will be good. Maybe later. Maybe someday. And then you can't have other things fit there because you've got too much hay. Stop trying so hard to hold on to things, to become something, to make something, to learn something, and just see what things are. Back in my day, that's what they tend to say, sitting you down on a porch just like this, amidst a life full of chaos. They say to stop, take a little bit of a slower pace through your journey. Some elderly people, who know some things, even though it doesn't seem like it sometimes to some of us, because we feel like we're on the bus to greatness. We don't know the route or even the destination, but we know we're in seat 4, section 8. Then it seems like everything just gets a little segregated. What we see and what the other people see, and we can't weed out what's in between. The truth of all things, right? The vestibule. You walking in, take just a step. Nothing more, nothing less. Faith in every footstep, I'm talking about it. I'm doing it again. I'm sitting down. Not so common for me, actually. Spitting and speaking some words to turn the hearts of the children to the fathers and the hearts of the fathers to the kids, who get told they don't know anything. But, who didn't own a thing? Jesus Christ. Not tangible possessions. He'd walk around his life and, just say, come what may. And a lot of people have more stuff by the end of May than a lot of people have in their entire life but they started accumulating these things at the beginning of the year, right? It's always about more, right? What can I get? How much more can I acquire? You're sitting there preaching to one, telling people you know what's going on. So you think. Meaning, that causes you to think, man, they start to believe this. If I keep saying stuff, how deep can I get them in? That's what some people think, you know, they just want everybody to be on board with what they're doing. I'm a free floating kind of guy, right? It's kind of boring on a board that seems to be bored a hole between the inside and the outside, looking through a porthole. It's like a portal to another life that you're trying to find, but it's right there. Just take away the divisions. Sitting in the kitchen, complaining that you're hungry but don't want to get up for the food in the other room. And then you start to realize what you're doing. You lift your head up from whatever it was you were looking at, and you stop looking through some looking glass, and you just look at the fact that you're in the kitchen still, complaining that it's like hiking a hill to get across the room to the refrigerator. Because we live in societies where things seem like they could be like this all over the earth, but they're just not. People do things differently over there, and really anywhere you go that's not your home. And a lot of people don't feel like they are when they are at their own. Interesting, yeah? The life we live and how it just seems like it gets easier, the more simple we can just let things be. You don't have to make it be anything, because then you're making things up or trying to make people believe anything. So if we can just peel back the mask, part the veil, it's nuts, huh? Call it the curtain call. Nah. Marshall Mathers, you know, an artist. I used to talk about being a martial artist. Throwing a kick or two, you know, just because it's something that I could do to feel like I could move when I felt so stuck all my life. And I really was. What's behind the curtain anyway, you know? It's a Broadway show, but the only thing that they show is what they want you to see. And you don't see what's underneath. The costumes, the makeup, the things they're making up, truly. We do things like this though and enjoy it. We toy with the idea of being someone else for about an hour and a half through a play or something. And then when we get done playing or something, we would like to have a life full of meaningful things, but we don't even know what things mean because we've been making things up to portray something else and put it on a screen. Holy cow. Right? Talk about a crazy life. I'd rather not. I'd rather just live instead. Keep my mouth shut most of the time. And then occasionally drop a line or two like this with some rhymes that do some things you might miss if you're not really listening into it, because there's a lot of things I say here that you can take. In a life full of fear, I make things pretty clear. It's just a drop in the bucket, but it settles you down quite a bit, and you can see to the bottom of things. The deeper the water gets, well, I'm not much of a runner, by any means. But I love playing sports, though. The big thing is, they say that still water's run deep, but I don't want to bore you, bro, with the same kind of things that other people say. So I say some things in a little bit of a different kind of way. Sometimes, you know, I crunch a rhyme or two, like I say, like I'm getting back to school. What's up with this? I don't go to school, not anymore. I was a child though, and sure, I graduated from a school, learning some things, you know. And I say it like that, we're styling our lives after things we don't like. And people go to school to try to become something that somebody else wanted them to write. They're an author, yeah? Sitting there writing some books, but really, they need to give their writing a look, because what they're looking at is through the lens of the person who taught them how to be what they thought they should, rather than just writing what they thought they should. And that's crazy. I'm gonna say it again, that's crazy, man. That's a police officer, no joke. Funny too. Because I'm hunting through all these things, you know, calling some things 911, you know. I don't know. 9 months. You take one person and one more person. Got a kid there. What's up with this? Life's just what it is. There's only one way to turn some things around. Man. Delivery. No joke. Check it out. Life's crazy. Life may be the craziest thing we can experience here, because a lot of people don't feel like they're living. But if you give in to surrender, quite the paradox, but you'll find there's a lot of things that go on and life doesn't stop. You don't gotta cater what you're doing to the kind of movement that's around or not, because you'll be drowning a lot in a pot full of gumbo that you don't have the ingredients for. Because you didn't put it all together, but somehow it still works all together. It's supposed to, dude. Wow. There's a time and a place for things. You know I say it, if you know me. What I'll say there's a place for right now is some time. And what's funny about that is a lot of us don't take any, but we're given it. And I'm not even joking about that by any means. No matter how long you have on this earth, you have the amount of time you have. And a lot of people are looking around trying to grab more of it. Well, theirs is running out. And really it's them that's running out of the house to try to go find out what they could do with the time that they have, that they're using to move to something else when they're already somewhere. It's the kind of life we live though, yeah? It's like we're looking out a window. Talked about it, you know, a porthole. Man. Getting seasick, rocked around on the waves of life. Getting tossed around again. And you claim it's alright. To other people, then you get alone at home and you wallow in your own sorrows. Yeah. Man. I'm back in it though, you know, back at it again. I used to say it like that, you know, a rap addict, a pen is all I need to achieve the flows I spit. I'm going just like a falling off of this like a waterfall. I get heavier with the weight I flow. I'm waiting though till the day that I go. where I need to be to see some things. I'm dropping things like autumn leaves. I take it a step back again. I'm rapping then. I'm wrapped up in this like it's Christmas time. I do it once or twice a year. Happy birthday to you, kids. I'm here. Because I've been given ears to, you know? Corny kind of joke. But he who has ears to hear, let him. And really let him know the actual truth of all things. Not like a silly thing or two you can think about, dude, in the afternoon with his friends and laugh again and then come back and then wonder why they did it. Because they did it last week and they didn't actually feel better afterwards. They got left on empty. And they'll never get enough of what's not for them. But they don't know what's for them. And they don't know it's for them. They don't know he's for them. They don't know besides what's for you. If you catch my drift, you know, that'd be nice. Because otherwise I might slam into a wall sometimes at too high of a speed. I can't quite get that counter steer in, you know. Man, because I'm on the counter steering some cards around. Trying to play this game of life as if I know what's right, you know? Hey, what's up? The sky is blue, dude, like you when you feel down. What's up with that? It's kind of a backward type of thing, a paradoxical life we lead. I'm trying to lead people to a paradoxical kind of life. There's a lot of people that live a paradoxical kind of life, but they're at a paradox inside. Thinking they should feel better than they do, so they hide and try to find something else to help besides looking at the top shelf, right? Looking up's always better than looking around. Oh, but I was thinking about this the other day when I was walking around the town. It's funny how when we have questions, what we should really do is be looking up. As in, to God. And what we do in modern day is have a question and look it up. It's that whole thing about being literal but metaphoric at the same time. Within the same line, I say two different type of things. Meaning the same, but leading our brain to two different types of ways of understanding. And there's only one way that you can stand, see? It's a human body, it's a mechanical machine. Placed on a rock in space, there's no escape to this life without escaping life. But what you don't want to be escaping is life. You just want to escape the life that you feel like you kind of have when you feel like you can't grab the one that's actually there behind the piece of glass. Because this is the thing, is looking in the mirror, you shouldn't see yourself, but you should see that what you're seeing is a reflection of yourself. I think all too often we actually associate ourselves with the things that we see that look like us, rather than realizing that it's just a representation. And a lot of things represent other things, or things are represented by other things that aren't that thing. But yet it seems that a lot of people focus on the representation more than the truth. The father of lies, right? The devil himself, the adversary, takes something beautiful and amazing and makes it kind of scary by just tweaking it a tiny bit. You know what I don't get is how mirrors are something that you can see, but when you look at it, it's like flipped, but not flipped, because it's like you're looking at, well, me. And it's not a screen. And what's in between? Because how am I seeing that thing if I'm looking through something else as well? There's a lot of things that'll probably make you go crazy, crazy, crazy. Seriously. There's air all over the place. We're looking through oxygen all the time when we're trying to find something across the street. We're looking through a bunch of molecules before we get to the thing with our eyeballs. And I fall down the stairs laughing at that kind of stuff, because actually that's kind of rough. Looking at life and trying to actually understand everything that's going on. That'll make you sing a song like a sad songbird, wallowing in your own sorrows. Talk about it, dude. You'll sit there and rock around it like you're drunk on delusions. You know, I think a lot of people forget that we're moving to a higher type of society, but only if we are the ones that try to be. We've got this thing called agency, and a lot of people like to put a lot of importance on it. I don't really give too many cares about it, maybe not even one. But what I do care about is the one that we should trust. Put all our trust in, actually. Whether your name's Jesty or Justin, you can just see that something is a lot clearer when you're not looking through a bunch of stuff in between here and there. But we see some things here and there that we didn't want to see. And I've got a lot of things in my past that I did not want to have to go through. But going through those things actually made me a stronger person that now can sit here and sing all these songs, and I'm no longer searching for the things that I've learned, because time just goes on, bro. It's like mowing a lawn, you know? As long as that blade keeps spinning, it'll just keep whacking what's in its way. And you'll just keep grinning, trucking on through. Trying to get to the end point of some things, dude. All things have an end point except for God. Because if he's the beginning and the end, then he never stops. Interesting, yeah? Just all the things we think about that we don't really think about thinking about. We'll sit here racking our brain about some things for like an hour and a half and not realize that we even had a thought in our mind. But we're passing time. What else do I do with this life, you know? Yikes. Well, it's better than doing a lot of other things, I guess, right? Because at least that way you're a little bit introspective. Yeah. It's like that reflection. You look in the mirror and you see some things clearer sometimes, even though it's not quite the same thing. You get a little different angle at looking at something and you think, man, you know, perspective will take you places. Well, actually, really, what it does take is to go places to get perspective. You know, not like some far journey out there, but if I'm standing here and I'm looking over there, it might look like this. If I'm standing over there and I'm looking at the same thing, it might seem like it switched, but it's just what it is. And things are just what they are. Wow. Yeah, just sitting in the car, right? Listening to the music, thinking you can do it. Pick apart all the lyrics that somebody wrote down and recorded into a microphone, either at their home, in their closet, or somewhere else that could be called a closet, but somebody else said, hey, this costs just like your whole paycheck for the next 4 years. They call it a recording studio, but who needs it, bro? Got some closet space with some coats. Some sound deadening. We get more dead in the brain the more that we listen to the insane words of the other people. And you're trying to pick apart the lyrics in the song thinking you know what's going on, and you've been saying the same thing that you thought it was saying for like 3 years because you've heard this song like 30 times between there and here, but you haven't actually heard the words correct the entire time, and so now you're lying to all your friends saying, you know this song word for word, but you missed like half of them. Man. It only says what it says. The person wrote it down, and they recorded them speaking those words into a song. And if you don't hear it quite correct, it doesn't mean that you get to interpret it. It means that you're wrong. Yeah. A little bit harsh, right? The truth, when it hits you or me or him or the elderly guy or the youth, or if it turns you like an ache in the tooth and it breaks you like a booth. Man. A phone booth, you know the truth? It's what you wore when you walked in. You walk out dressing like Superman.